Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And today's video is going to be the next installment in my Debunking Flat Earth video series. Now I really didn't ever intend on making a Debunking Flat Earth series, but years ago when I started to produce Bible videos, I realized that I was going to have to explain how our solar system works in order to explain things that were written in our Bibles, because the churches are doing everything in their power to convince you that the Bible is fake and that you shouldn't read it for yourself. You should listen to whatever explanations the clergy have to give you about what's in the Bible and just accept that as truth. And so when I started making videos, it became very obvious very quickly that there were a lot of people out there that wanted to shut me up. Now remember, we're talking about using our solar model to explain the Bible. That's never been done. No one has ever looked into that, or at least since Jesus has died, no one has done that. It's very likely that when Jesus was alive on the earth, he very clearly explained to his apostles what was going to happen in the last days. They understood it. They also left written records indicating that they understood it. But they did it in a cryptic way, and I think that's for a purpose. I think it was important to get this information down through thousands of years of history to those of us who would live at this time in a way that wouldn't raise any eyebrows. If they had just simply explained exactly what was going to happen in basic Greek language, Hebrew language of the time, there's no way in the world that the empire would allow that to make it to 21st century. So anyway, when I started making videos about how the Bible describes our solar system, I started to get comments from a group of people known as flat earthers. And they were always trying to disprove what I was saying about the Bible, and they were doing it publicly. It wasn't just that they were trying to help me out with my heresies, but they were actually trying to make me look foolish in front of my audience. And so, at the time, it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't like it, but I felt like if I addressed Flat Earth directly, that it would bring me down to their level. It's a silly teaching. There's no reason to talk about it. These people will run out of steam and go away. And in fact, I talked to a couple of people that I confide in regularly, and they were like, yeah, that's the best decision is just to leave them alone. They can't do anything for you, and they can't do anything to harm you, so don't bring it up. Well, now I'm starting to do this Bible Code video series, which is an extension of that first one, and this is what's going to take us into the actual real-world stuff that's about to happen as this system of civilization reaches its end. I always say that the entire Bible is not a rule book for how to get to heaven. It's simply a written record of the war between God's kingdom and Satan's empire, the war between the righteous angels and the wicked angels, the war between creation and civilization. And this war is coming to a close, and the war is very real. And spirit creatures in heavenly places, the angels, the demons, are very, very intensely concentrated on this war right now, meaning that the demons are going to try to take out as many people with them as they can. So anyway, getting back to why we're doing this today, word has been going around since, back in the very first time a flat earther left a comment on one of my videos, someone wrote to me and said that this is probably some kind of government thing, that they've got these agents who are out there amongst mankind looking to see who is teaching truth, and they're trying to get them drawn into these foolish things, these scams, in order to make everything out of their mouth sound foolish. So there are people amongst us that are going around saying, this system of governance we have is a fiction. The banking system is a fiction. All of these wars are unnecessary. And in order to squelch that, they're trying to draw these people into flat earth, because if you're out there making YouTube videos about how the banking system is not real and it doesn't work and it cannot work, if you're also producing videos about how the earth is flat, then that destroys your credibility. I've always tried to avoid all this conspiracy theory stuff for a couple of reasons. One, it's not important. I think everybody pretty much knows that to get to the top, you have to be a liar. To stay at the top, you have to be a liar. And so, you know, civilization is run by those who are at the top. It's just common sense. Doesn't take a whole lot to figure that out. So, can I prove that there is a orchestrated effort going on to slip these flat earthers, these flat earth beliefs, into the belief systems of people who are actually trying to reveal truth? Yes, I think I can. I wasn't really able to yesterday, but I made this video. It's called, well, it's the same as this series, you know, Debunking Flat Earth, but it was called Proving the Spherical Earth. And I knew that I was going to get a lot of heat from it, because that always happens. Anytime you step onto a new subject and it's different from anything anybody's ever heard or whatever, you're going to get some hate. And this is actually targeted at the flat earthers. It's not just like I was talking about how the earth is a sphere. I actually put the words debunking and flat earth in the title. So it wasn't like I was shocked when I got my first flat earther coming on there and telling me the same old stuff they always do, even though in the video I actually debunked all of the stuff that was brought up. But as the night went on, nothing really drastic happened. It's like I always get, like if I have, I just reached into for the whiteboard, but I don't really need it. If I get 10 views, in general I'll get 1 thumb up. Right, so 1 thumb up for 10 views is real, and it follows that pattern for about a day, and then after that, it's, you know, the video just sits there for years and years and years, and every now and then you'll get a comment, every now and then you'll get a thumbs up, but in general, all the comments come in on the first couple of days, all of the thumbs up come in on the first couple of days, and everything was going as normal. So remember, I always am good at finding patterns. I find patterns in the nighttime sky. I can find patterns in the numerical system used in the Bible. I can find patterns in all of the world's mythologies, the calendar. So I'm really good at spotting patterns. And I kind of keep track of that because I really, you know, the most important thing in my life really is my YouTube channel. So when I post a video, I'm always watching the numbers to just see how I'm affecting people out there. And obviously I want as many numbers as possible, and I want all thumbs up, and I always want positive reinforcement. But I look at everything, and sure enough, my videos were following that pattern. So in the course of 12 hours, normally I get 250 views on pretty much any video I make, and I'll get 25 thumbs up. That's the first 12 hours, you know, of daylight, so, or of watching time. So people normally will, you know, the big time when people are watching my videos is like from the time they get off of work at 6 till like midnight. And then after that, things just go back to normal. But I got to my regular 250, about 25 thumbs up. A couple of flat earthers had chimed in. And over the course of the night, when I first produce a video, I'm checking constantly. Like when I say constantly, I mean every 30 minutes or so, I am going to my email, and then if it's, you know, if I feel like I have extra time, I'll go to the YouTube comment section to confirm things. Because sometimes you'll get things in your comments that don't get sent to you in an email. But at 11:30, this is at precisely 11:30, I'm looking at my watch, and my TV show's about to come to an end, and I decided it was time to go to bed. So I'm going to wrap it up. I turned on my Gmail, or opened up the page, and I went to my comment section, and I saw that I had 2 new comments, just right on schedule, normal stuff. I went out and got me a glass of water to put next to the bed, and I went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, and I came back and it said I had 7 comments. And it's not unheard of for me to get 7 comments in that short of a period of time. My 2 that I just checked and 5 extras. But when I went to the YouTube comment section, not my email, but the YouTube comment section, I actually had about 30 comments just instantly. And that was at 11:35. So 11:30, I went to bathroom, 11:35, I come back, and I've got all of this stuff showing up. So I got to looking at it, and sure enough, it was flat earther stuff, and a lot of it was in my spam folder. It didn't even go into my YouTube. It went right to spam, meaning these are people that have got a bad reputation with YouTube. So they make comments. Comments get put in a spam folder just because YouTube's kind of aware of their presence. And it was all the same old stuff. And it was stuff that's always nonsensical. They always say, like, so you're so smart, explain, how does water bend? And that's just one of those stupid comments that's out there, right? And every flat earther, every flat earther is aware of this silly little thing that they say that makes no sense whatsoever. It's just a twisting of words in English. And I think the answer that they want is the same old answer as always, you know. I mean, water finds its own level, because that's the way it works. If you dump a bunch of water in a bucket, it's level all the way across. In fact, when I was building this house, the way I got the slab level was to take a hose, right, and fill it full of water with a little glass tube at the end and put it down there on a stake. Just tie it to a stake and drag that hose to the other end of the property and do the same thing, because the water level in that hose at that end was going to be the same as this end. So as I'm driving the stakes in the ground for pouring my slab, I could use that water to tell me where to do that. See, because the water, I'll just explain it to you with a drawing. I'm getting so addicted to this whiteboard, I don't know how to not use it. But I want to build a house here, and I want to find out what the level is. There's the ground. So I take this hose, right, and it's got a little glass tube here. And I run this hose over to here and put a little glass tube. And I fill this up with water. Well, what's going to happen, in order to get this water to come level with ground, I'm going to have to raise this up until the water's not pouring out of it. And then from that point, and I know that's not absolutely level, but say you got the water there and the water there, you know you can drive you a stake in the ground right here to put your batter boards on. Come over here and drive a stake in the ground, put your batter boards on. And that's what water finding its own level means. And that's how everything works. Now, since our Earth is a globe, you know, if you were to run that hose somewhere over to China, it wouldn't look just like this. You know, the hose would actually have to be facing the other way, because gravity pulls everything towards the center of the Earth, or towards the center of the Earth's mass. And so you have to have, you know, the water is not going to be what we call level. Level is level, right? And so these flat earthers will do anything to get you to say that water finds its own level, because then the next thing they type on your website is, aha! So you admit it with your own mouth. The earth is level. I mean, it's like it's legalism. It's how all religions work. You take something that's an obvious fact and you find words that you can twist the meanings of to make your facts seem to support your religion when there's absolutely no connection whatsoever. Anyways, that's one of the comments that I saw quite a bit. Another one that's really, really goofy, and I don't know why this is starting to come up, because it came up actually a couple weeks ago. Somebody wrote me and said, if you're so smart, then explain to me why the horizon is always at eye level no matter what you do. If you're on the ground, the horizon is at eye level. And if you're in an airplane 5 miles up, the horizon is at eye level. And so I didn't know what I was supposed to be tricked into doing, so I just didn't say anything, because that's just silly. I know for a fact, here we can use my whiteboard again. When I'm in my house, not now because I'm covered by wood, so I don't get to see anything. If I'm in my house, and this horizon goes on to infinity, And I'm looking out my window. Yeah, eventually, I can stand in the middle of my house and I can see the horizon. It's kind of, you could say it's eye level. It isn't, but you can say that. Because you're not looking, level. If you're looking level, the horizon is not at eye level. Now, the fact that you can see the whole open sky and you can see the whole ground in front of you isn't what they're talking about. Because in reality, out to about 5 miles, everything is at eye level. Just because it's very, the farther things get away from you, the littler they are. But I also know this. I used to fly around quite a bit because I was in the America's military club, that I would fly in airplanes every now and then. And I'd always try to get a window seat, because to me, that's just such a bizarre thing. And I knew that once I got out of the military, I was never going to fly again. So I wanted to kind of preserve the moment. If you're sitting by this window, you're looking out here, you can see the horizon because the horizon's down here somewhere. But if you're right here, you absolutely cannot see the horizon. I promise you, if you're just one seat over, you are not going to see the horizon. In fact, from this seat, you pretty much got to lean over and put your head in the window to see the ground. From here, you can't see anything. You look out there, if you're in the seat that's not next to the window, all you're going to see is blue skies or clouds. That's all you're going to see from up there. You'll never see anything through this little window if you're in the second seat, because the horizon is not always at eye level. That's just silly. Which is basically, you're going to find out if you do any research in flat Earth and you're a reasonable person and you kind of know that you're at least aware of the fact that people like to lie for whatever reason, you're going to find that pretty much all of their teachings are a lie. The video I posted yesterday, I said very clearly that if you look through binoculars or a telescope or whatever, you're going to see ships sailing over the horizon, because it's just the way it works, and it's real. I mean, I do not understand. Here's the deal. Every time I say anything about the Earth being a sphere on the internet, there is always at least one person that tells me, if you just go out to the seashore and look through a pair of binoculars or through a telescope, you'll see that ships do not sail over the horizon. They just get farther and farther and farther away, and eventually they get too small to see. But they never go over the horizon. And the reason they tell you that is because they really are hoping you won't do that. Or maybe some people believe that. I don't know. It's not that difficult of an experiment to conduct, If you're living in the Midwest, it might be, because it'd take a lot of driving to get to the sea, and obviously you can't do this over terrestrial landmarks because you've got different elevations to deal with. The sea, pretty much, I think the biggest swells I've ever been in are 30-foot swells, and so, plus, if you're going to sea, or if you're going out to the shore to conduct this experiment, you're not going to do it during a hurricane. You're going to go out there when the water's relatively still, which means that for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles, water is seeking its own level. So you can look through binoculars, you can see ships going over the horizon. But every one of these, and I don't know what the deal is with it, but every single one of these flat earthers believes that if you use a certain kind of binoculars or a certain kind of telescope, the experiment won't work. Because if you tell them, I've already done that, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh, well, you must have done it with the wrong kind of binoculars. So, these are the three things that they start with, and then they get into flight patterns, they get into all kinds of bizarre trigonometry that is not based on reality. But initially, all you're going to get is that. So here goes, 11:30 at night, I go back, I got like 30 30 different guys in my spam folder and in my comments section telling me, you know, if you really would just go out and look through binoculars, you would be. And in the video, I said that I did that, you know. So they're going to the first step. They haven't even looked at the video. Got 30 people that saw that the title of my video was Flat Earth Debunked, and they just went to my video without even watching a second of it and started typing out comments. And so, because obviously in the comments, everything they said in the comments was stuff that I had already covered in the video, so they don't need to, you know, encourage me to go do my own research, that's another big thing. You know, a whole lot of them, they appeal to baby Jesus. Oh, you know, the empire is trying to get you to not believe in God. God says he made the earth flat. If you believe that the earth is a sphere, you're wicked. And, you know, I did a video a while back, is flat earth in the Bible? So you can go look at that if you want to find out. But other ones, you know, they're going to stick to these basic things. And then there's a whole bunch of different personalities of these people. So some of them, they just go on your channel and they say, what makes you, with your nasty, greasy, stinky dreadlocks, think that you have the credentials to tackle such a complex subject? You know, that the hair, that came up a lot. You know, so when I got it tied back. I'm not trying to hide it. Not ashamed of my hair. So anyway, yeah, there's those kind, and then there's the kind that just come on and they badmouth my mama, like somehow that's going to make me stop talking about flat earth. And then they had the ones that their whole thing was to go to my subscribers. Like there'd be a comment, thank you so much for this very interesting information. And under that it'll say, you filthy slut. Why would you call one of my subscribers a filthy slut because she said thank you for the video? And they did that. It's like that was a regular thing. All of the women, if you're one of my female subscribers, it's obviously you're a female subscriber and you left a comment on my video yesterday. I know you were called a slut. Do not respond to those people. I deleted them, I blocked them, and they're not attacking you personally, they're just doing a job. And the reason I say they're doing a job is because after I got finished going through and deleting those comments and blocking those users, I went back to refreshed the page. There were 20 or 30 more. From 11:30 p.m. This is from 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 p.m. in 1 hour. In 1 hour, and this is real. I guess the video had been up for maybe 6 hours, and in 6 hours I had 250 normal comments with one or two of those flat earth people mixed in there. And then suddenly in a 1 hour period, I had to block. Last night I blocked 200 unique individuals, and I had to delete probably 300 comments. And that doesn't make sense. There are things that happen sometime on YouTube that seem to defy the laws of physics or the laws of statistical whatever. But that's kind of weird. There is a pattern. Like I say, I can spot patterns. So, first hour you get 60 views, second hour you get 60 views. You do the math, you're getting about 1 view per minute. And then it slows down to maybe 0.75 views per minute. And then 1/2 of a view per minute. So you got 30 people in an hour. And between 11:30 and 12:30, let's see, I'll go ahead and refresh my page. We won't even talk about that. We'll just see what we have currently. So right now, this simple video about the Earth being a sphere has got 1,177 views. And I have 81 thumbs down. I don't know how it works. I think if you delete people and you block them and you delete them and you report them for abuse, that anything they did on your channel is supposed to disappear. Maybe I'm wrong. So I deleted all these people last night, all these comments. It actually took me from 11:30 to about 2:30, nonstop, just block, delete, block, delete, block, delete. I was doing that for 3 solid hours. That's 3 solid hours. And as far as the thumbs down go, it's like every video I've produced in the last 2 years, within an hour anyway, usually within 10 minutes, I get 2 thumbs down. And I suspect that's my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, because that's the kind of stuff they do. But it normally doesn't go any above that. Unless I talk about something really, really strange, I always get two thumbs down within a few minutes, and I don't get any more thumbs down for a day or so. And yet last night, we got 81 thumbs down. Now, obviously, the subject matter is probably going to cause me to get 5 or 6 thumbs down. So we're not really getting 81 people at the same time doing that are on a payroll somewhere. It's probably just 70. Like I say, I don't know. All the people that I deleted and blocked and reported for abuse, they probably put thumbs down on there too. Or maybe these are some of their thumbs down. I don't know. But that happened in about a 1 hour period. That's an orchestrated thing. And so, we're dealing with the real world. That means that it's very likely that all of these people regularly get together for an hour every night, and they just blast some spherical Earth YouTube channel, and that's all they do, probably every night. It's very likely that they'll do the same thing to me for this video, maybe for the next video, all the videos in this series are likely to attack. And I don't know if you know this or not, but these people, and I've had to deal with people like this before. They have a time when they get done with supper or whatever, they go sit in front of the computer, they turn it on, they find somebody they don't like, they blast them with a bunch of this troll stuff. You block them, you delete them, YouTube gets rid of them, and the next day you get a new person that does the same thing. You block them, delete them. The next day you get a new person. So it's like every day there are people in this world who generate a new email account. Once the email account is working, they go to YouTube and they create a YouTube page to associate with that email account. They go favorite 2 or 3 videos that they're not at all interested in, just to make the channel look legitimate, and then they just start trolling. And the next day, when that channel no longer works, they do the whole process over again. But this was all just too orchestrated. It makes me believe that these people are actually doing this for a paycheck. That somewhere, somebody who is trying to get Flat Earth as big as they can get it, to get as many truthers involved in this foolishness as possible, so that when these people post videos about how, the war is wrong, the government's corrupt, that kind of stuff, that, the average person who goes there to learn truth from these people will see the Flat Earth videos and just instantly dismiss them. It's a good campaign. I don't think it's going to work on people who are really seeking the truth, like the real truth from the Bible. But it probably does make a lot of 9/11 conspiracy theorist people look bad. So, here's the thing. If you want to make a difference in this world, you really need to pick one battle and stick to that. Don't go jumping around, grabbing hold of everything that comes along, because what's going to happen is the few people who are willing to listen to the things that the things that you can prove, that are going to stop listening to you because you've latched onto some foolish religion. Now, obviously, I probably should have done this a long time ago, but here's the deal with that. I hate the military. I hate murder. I hate stealing. And yet I used to be in the military. So I know that a person can be in the military, a person can be in the military knowing that they're helping the world and doing good, because I was there. So I can't just make blanket statements against military personnel, because there have to be other people in the military that are just like me, trying to do the best they can. Same thing with religion. It would be really, really easy to make my channel the anti-Catholic channel or the anti-Jehovah's Witness channel. But, honestly, think about it. I was a Catholic for many years. I believed in it with all my heart. I believed in Jehovah's Witnesses with all my heart. And so, at the time, if someone had told me I was stupid for being a Catholic or a Jehovah's Witness, that would have put up a wall. So, if you do that kind of stuff, then suddenly that's one person that you can guarantee will never listen to you again. And I didn't want to do that. But some of this stuff is getting really ridiculous, and it does seem to be orchestrated. And the flat earth teaching is so foolish that I can't even imagine anybody being, just latching onto it without doing a little research. One of the things that comes up if you're a sphere earther is this people begging you to go out and do your own research. Well, the reality, they've never done their own research, because these are the same people telling you if you take a telescope out to the shore that you can watch ships sail on forever and ever and ever without going over the horizon. It does not take a whole lot of effort to go down to the shore and look through a telescope. Obviously, very obviously, the people that are telling us this stuff have never done these experiments for themselves. They're begging you to do them even though they haven't done them. Because, here's the thing. If you're a flat earther and you're going around telling people to look through a telescope, before you do that, go to the shore and look through a telescope. But you won't do it. It's like the people that, when I make a video about the Bible, there's always people that come on and say, why don't you please read the Bible? If you read the Bible, you'll find out that everything you're saying is a lie, and you'll feel bad, and you'll turn your life around and come to Christ. These people telling me this have very obviously never, ever once in their lives read the Bible. I've read the Bible 8 times. I'm on my 9th time. People who have never read the Bible are constantly begging me to read the Bible, because if I just read the Bible, I'll realize everything I'm saying is a lie. So that's the way religion works. Religion is a belief system. It's not a reality system or an investigation system. It's a belief system. You go to somebody that you think you want to attach yourself to, or some organization. You attach yourself to that organization, and then you go to the leaders of the organization and you ask them, what do you want me to believe? That is the way that religion works. And yes, flat earth is a religion. I'm always told that flat earth is not a religion. But in my videos I talk about science as a religion. Science is a religion. Religion is anything that requires you to believe in things that you cannot prove for yourself or see for yourself. And obviously a lot of what science teaches cannot be proven. And in fact, if you do any investigation, you can prove much of science wrong. Another thing is that I'm always being told that flat earth is not a religion, because the people who are flat earthers come from all kinds of religions, as if somehow you can't be a member of more than one religion. Well, that's the Buddhist thing. The Buddhists say they are not a religion. And the proof is in the fact that the Buddhists belong to other religions. But, come on. Buddhists wear costumes, they observe special days, they perform rituals, they have this belief system about the invisible world. They believe that, if you get your arm broken, it's because in a previous life you broke somebody's arm. That's a religion. Now, if you're a Buddhist and you go to the Catholic Church, then you're a Catholic and you're a Buddhist, And if you're a Buddhist that goes to the Catholic Church who is a flat earther, then you're a flat earther, a Buddhist, and a Catholic. Being a member of one religion does not mean that your other religions are not religions. So, anyway, here's the problem with the whole thing. What I'm telling you is that we're fleshly beings. It's really, really easy not to believe in the spirit realm, just to think that the only thing that's real are the things we can see, taste, touch, hear, smell. And you can't do that with demons under normal circumstances. But to believe that there's simply some powerful government entity that is paying people to go sit in a cubicle somewhere and do internet trolling all night is not the whole story. One of my subscribers the other day said, keep in mind that flat earthers or legion. And if you take a stand against one of them, you have to take a stand against all of them. And I believe there is a lot of truth to that, because even though there may be a group of people who are solely motivated by a paycheck to do this, it's very obvious when you're looking at the comments that have been posted on my Flat Earth videos that quite a few seemingly come from people who honestly believe that the earth is flat and are not getting paid to troll me. In fact, this morning I woke up and once again I was talking about the guys that were talking about my hair and my mama and all that, and some flat earther came in and said, "Why are you people doing this? I believe in flat earth and I don't believe in what this man is teaching. But what does his hair and his mother have to do with his opinions? Do you want someone to try to keep you from having an opinion? Leave this man alone." So, it seems like that, and that could be a setup. It could be somebody just trying to get me lured into listening to this story. And that has happened in the past, not just with Flat Earth, but with my Bible videos. There are people, I'm telling you this because I know a lot of the people who watch my videos don't produce their own videos, so you may not have had the same experiences as me. But there are people out there that will come to your channel and just leave a really nice comment. Like, "This is the most thought out video I've ever seen. You really know what you're doing," right? And then they wait and you post another video a week later and they come and say, "Wow, I didn't think you could do it twice in a row, but this is just as good as the last video you made." And then they start telling you personal things about themselves and seeing if they can get you involved in Skype. And you say, "Yeah, let's go ahead and get involved in Skype," which, by the way, I don't do anymore. Rarely do. Once in a while, somebody will touch my heart and I'll Skype them. But most of the people I talk to are people who subscribed to me more than 5 years ago when I was very freely giving out my Skype address. But these people, once you get them on Skype and once they get under your skin and once they have you convinced that they're really your friend, then suddenly everything changes. And they're doing everything in their power to get you to believe that the earth is flat, or to get you to believe that the Bible is fake, or some kind of thing that's exactly the opposite of what you were teaching when they were telling you they loved your teachings. That's one of the things, my friend Usamos, that's always helping me out on the podcast, he'll say, it's like, "Why are you addressing this person?" He says, very opening statement, he's saying, "I watch all of your videos." And then he goes into 3 or 4 paragraphs where he's talking about things that prove he has never watched even so much as one of your videos. So, this is a person who's lying to you. They're obviously lying to you. Ignore them. And so that's basically the kind of tactics that flat earthers use. It does seem to be orchestrated. I'm certain that there is some kind of hierarchical, fleshly system on the earth that's doing this. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge the fact that there is a hierarchical, satanic entity that is orchestrating these fleshly entities. Oh well, if you don't want to survive, let's take one more look. That's 1177. Let's see if that updated any. Sometimes it'll go like an hour before it updates, but maybe we... Nope, still 1177. But 1,177 views, and it's been... It doesn't tell me, but I think it's been about 14 hours. I posted a video 14 hours ago. I got 1,100 views. And you know what? It's kind of good to get 1,000 views because usually, when your numbers go up, it makes a lot more people look. YouTube will promote the video more. And obviously, there's the financial remuneration that's good. But that's just so weird. That is just bizarre. That is bizarre even for my YouTube channel. Oh well, once again, if you do not wish to survive, don't listen to me.